Hi, my name is Brit Fontenot. I'm the Economic Development Director for the City of Bozeman, Montana. And I'm here with Trang Nguyen today, who is a participant in the Professional Fellows Program. And today I'm going to be interviewing Trang, asking her some questions about her stay in Bozeman and her expectations for the Professional Fellowship that she's currently engaged in. Trang, why did you apply for the Professional Fellows Exchange Program?
Well, I find it's a great opportunity for me to, learn about the models in other country, and then to meet people, to make a connection, expand my network, and to be exposed in many great ideas. And I didn't think twice when applying for the scholarship, and I think that is the best thing I ever done.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes, and until now, so far I see many great things here, including the public comment portions in the City Commission meeting, and then I see how Montana supports its business, including the low-cost environments with no sales tax and then very low business income tax.
Right. Well, that's great. Well, what do you? After all the meetings that we've attended, and introductions and discussions we've had in Bozeman, what do you think you can bring back to Da Nang City that is actionable?
Well, one thing that I learned, and I think is actionable, is that how to deal with the seasonality of tourism in my city.
Great.
Yeah.
Can you just explain about that just a little bit?
Yeah, of course. I have changed to Miss Pam, who is director of the Office of Tourism and Business Development in Helena, and then she just asked me, what can you offer to visitors during rainy season? And then I come up with the idea promoting the food, the local food during this period of time, to attracting food lovers to travel to my city.
Right.
And then, we can also promoting solo travel, or, producing some local products like colorful umbrellas with, image of Da Nang City on the umbrella,
right.
or business logo on it. I think that these ideas is actionable and is better than just offering off-season discount.
Great. Well, that's a great example. Have you seen or heard anything since you've been here that has surprised you?
Well, actually, a lot. There are many things that surprise me here. The next mayor, Cindy, who I just met yesterday, and then the city manager, who I will meet this Friday, and then the director of Montana State University. I'm going to meet her next week.
That's
yeah,
right.
they are all women. It's for me so inspiring to see women successful in leader position.
Right, that's great. They're very accomplished professionals.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad that we can say that we have some very accomplished professional women in our community that are leading us forward. So I'm glad that was something that you pleasantly surprised with.
And I shouldn't forget to mention about the gender-neutral bathroom for supporting transgender.
Right.
It's really great.
So the City of Bozeman joined a lawsuit to support the transgender community on the bathroom issue in Montana. Yeah, that's
it's
right.
It's really great. It exists in the bathroom issue. I can see that how the communities is supporting citizens and how they value its citizen, even the minority. And it's convinced me Bozeman is the ideal destination for everyone without discrimination.
Right. Well, thank you. We work hard to try to provide a fair and welcoming community. Definitely. So, what would you like Americans to know about you, Da Nang City, and Vietnam?
Well, I want Da Nang to be known as an ideal destination for, leisure travel, because we have one of the best beautiful beaches on the planet.
Right.
Yeah. And I also want people to know my city as a modern city, which provides great facility for, event and festival travel. Yeah.
It's a destination for business and leisure travelers.
Yeah,
right? That's great.
But especially the tourism. We have many to offer in terms of tourism. We have Banner Hill, we have the Maple Mountain, and we also have Suncha Peninsula. Where it's home to a special primate it's really rare. It's only have 500 individual of this species in Central Peninsula, but it account for more than 80% of this species on the planet.
That's fantastic. I've seen the photographs. They were really interesting.
Yeah, I hope that when Americans think about Vietnam, the first thing that comes to your mind isn't about the past conflict, but about the change to cooperate, partnership. We have a large market, so let's think at a huge market, and actually we are. Yeah, we are the third largest market in Asian and in Southeast Asian. Yeah, so let's think about the potential for economic cooperation.
Right.
Yeah, it's time to close the chapter on the past and move together toward a brighter future.
So, what are some of the similarities and differences that you've seen between Da Nang City and Bozeman?
Well, I think that there's many similarities. For example, we both, are trying to promote our tourism. We both trying to help support our staff, and we both have to deal with climate change. Yeah.
Right.
And there's also one more thing that really, similar, that we have a young structure age of population, with the average age fluctuates between 30 years old. And I think that is the, ideal age for, working and contributing to society.
What are some of the differences between Bozeman and Da Nang City?
Well, I think that there are many differences. For example, the local government structure, you have the elected and volunteer mayor, and we have the appointed chairmen of people council and people committee, and you have you don't have the same uniform for local government like us. Yeah, that's the difference. Okay. And also, Bozeman is smaller, 25 times smaller than Da Nang City. Sure. And the population is 22 times smaller than Da Nang City. That's the number of Da Nang City.
It's a big difference.
We have 1 million people. But the person, the per income, of Bozeman is 5 times higher than that of Da Nang City.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting that you made that comparison. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll work on that. What do you think we being the citizens of Bozeman, the government of Bozeman and Montana can learn from you, from Da Nang City and Vietnam, one of the fastest growing economies in Southeast Asia?
Oh, well, yeah, we, from the one of the poorest country 25 years ago, and then we moved to become a middle income country. Right. And I think it's an achievement of us. And the last year's economic growth is 6.2.
Right, that's really fast.
Yeah, it's quite impressive.
It's even faster than the city of Bozeman's growth, which is also pretty fast right now. Yeah.
You're fast too.
Well, that's great. I agree. I think there are many things we can learn from how you are managing your economy and the rapid growth. And we are experiencing that here in Bozeman. And so I've also been very interested to learn some techniques and strategies that Vietnam and Da Nang City are working on to try and solve some of your problems associated with growth.
Well, one of the reason I think for our successful is that we luckily have a young structured population, and we have 90 million people, and so that's a huge market. And so we attract a large company invest in us, and we becoming transfer to becoming the factory of large corporations in the world. But it's just from beyond the advantage. I think that the city and also the government of Vietnam had a right strategies on focus on human resource development, skill development, infrastructure development. Right. Yeah, but still there's many challenges that we have to continue learning from other countries to to deal with the challenges in our community. And I think two biggest challenges for Vietnam right now is how to effectively use the loan and enhancing exchange and cooperation in economic, cultural, and education development.
Sure.
And I feel very fortunate to have a chance to go to Bozeman and to learn the model here.
Yeah, well, thank you. We are also fortunate to host you. You bring fresh ideas, enthusiasm, and a real desire to not only to learn but to teach, and that's something that we appreciate. And for myself, I've learned in a short time. I've learned a lot about what it means to look forward and what it means not to look backwards. And for me, that's been it's been a very important lesson and important experience for me. So thank you. Well, thank you so much. So I would just like to say how much I've enjoyed hosting both you at my home with my family, but also here, and how at the city of Bozeman, because people that I've introduced you to have all told me later how much they enjoyed meeting you and talking with you. They're inspired by your energy and enthusiasm, and are very interested to learn more about Vietnam and Da Nang City. And you and I are working to continue to work together to try and create opportunities beyond this exchange program.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And please, I also have some questions that I'm really interested in asking you.
All right.
Okay. As a director of economic development in Bozeman, so can you share with me what made you proud?
I think the proudest project that we've completed, as far as projects are concerned, is our fiber optic network. That was an effort, a community effort that involved many people who saw a need for something in our community and came together to provide that service. And so that would probably be my proudest project achievement. But there's many other things that I'm proud of, and that's mostly the relationships that we built in the community with the local businesses, with our economic development partners. And I have the opportunity to work with really good staff, and working with these people gives me energy and makes me feel like we're in a team. And so creating a team in order to solve these problems and having people really believe that that's the right way to move forward I also feel very proud of.
Yeah, it's a great story about the fiber option of this network. Yeah.
We're very proud of it. It's brand new, right?
Yeah.
It's only been functional for a short period of time, and so we're still basking in the glow of that success.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. So, in your opinion, what is the potential field for foster the cooperation between Bozeman and Vietnam and Da Nang City also?
Sure. Well, that question, the answer to that question only recently started to emerge because I didn't know initially what could we work on together that would last, and that became, the more I learned about some of the needs of Vietnam in terms of agricultural needs, in particular, I thought perhaps there's some opportunity to assist with the transition in food crops. And we have an agricultural university at Montana State here in Bozeman, and so my intention is to continue having conversations about how we can work together with Vietnam in order to work on some of these food security issues.
Yeah, it's really interesting that I share the same, opinions about the future for economic cooperation with you.
Great. Well, good. I'm glad that gives us something to work on.
Yeah, it's really great.
I think so.
Okay, so what are your vision about the future of Bozeman City?
Well, Bozeman right now is the fastest growing city in the state of Montana, and trends in the United States right now indicate that will continue. And so what our largest challenge is to manage that growth in a way that preserves all of what we have come to enjoy in Bozeman. People are coming here because they have a high opinion of the quality of life.
Yeah.
And so we have to be very thoughtful in how we develop our community to preserve the quality of life while at the same time allowing for additional jobs to be created by the private sector, growing our infrastructure where appropriate, and of course workforce development and education are two very important pillars of our economic development strategy.
Yeah.
So growth would be the largest challenge we have ahead of us in managing it well.
Yeah, and I think that is matters of sustainable growth, right?
Exactly, sustainable growth,
Yeah.
managed growth, thoughtful growth, because we don't want to see ourselves, we enjoy the investment, but we don't want to see ourselves undermining the
Yeah.
reason that people are choosing to come here today.
Yeah. That's a good strategy.
Yeah, well, thank you. It takes a lot of us working together. It's not just an economic development imperative, but I think the community as a whole, from the elected officials down to the staff,
Yeah.
are focused on trying to do that well.
So beyond the property tax, can you share with me some of the other source or fund for growth?
Sure.
Yeah.
So in Montana, we have a very limited way of limited resources related to taxes, and so we have a state income tax and we have property taxes. Our communities don't have sales taxes unless they are of a certain small size and are allowed to employ the local option sales tax.
Yeah.
So what we use in Montana for economic development are our tax increment finance districts, which is a tax collection tool, allows us to collect the taxes and hold them aside so that we can invest in infrastructure in those districts. And so at the moment, we are having discussions at the state legislature about the local option sales tax, whether or not that can be loosened up, regulations can be loosened up so that communities our size can use that mechanism. We also have a gas tax that is managed by our county, and so they have some oversight on the gas tax, and so that takes cooperation between our two local government jurisdictions, county government and city government. So we're having those conversations. And so all of these things are moving forward, but slowly, as you might imagine. As our state is evolving, our economy is evolving, so therefore our ability or the mechanisms for funding this evolution also have to grow and change. And so that comes with some difficult conversations.
Yeah. Well, you answered really specific information, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Trang. Thank you very much.